we can ask Colin about it. Colin Cowherd joining us right now, of course. Good morning, Colin. How are you?
I am good. Just off a train in Chicago and ready to roll today. What's going on?
If Seattle were a stock, Colin, a Super Bowl stock, would you buy?
Yeah, I mean, Darnold hasn't proven in those late January games. Last year he kind of folded a little bit. Wasn't all his fault. I think the story of Seattle, and I'm not sure if this answers your question, but Pete and John Schneider were in a bad place a few years ago, a really bad place. And Schneider almost left, I think, 5 years ago to run Detroit, came back. John's always been, along with Brett Veach, Howie Roseman, Jason Light down in Tampa. John's one of the great talent evaluators in the NFL and has been for a long time. But when Paul Allen died, there was a power void upstairs, and Pete was popular. And he won a Super Bowl. And the truth is, now it's John's team. It's John's vision. It's John's personnel choices. Well, I've said the last 2 years, and I always worry about saying this on the air because everybody knows I'm from the Northwest, I think the Seahawks have had the best draft the last 2 years. And when I say that, everybody's like, oh, you're a homer. And I'm like, no, I grew up more Husky fan than Seahawk fan, more Mariner fan than Seahawk fan. Love Jim Zorn, but I was a baseball kid and a college football guy. I think Snyder's brilliant. I tell my audience all the time, turn the sound down and just lean into watching them play. It's the fastest team in the league. I like everything about it. And I think it's now John's blueprint, his coach, his quarterback. And I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. I think the Rams are really good. And I think Philadelphia's just got a great roster. But they're better than San Francisco. I think I'm going to take them this week against the Rams. I think they're in a 5 or 6 group team that for the next 5 years is an absolute buy. And I think Sam Darnold is better than maybe any quarterback in this college class except Mendoza. I think if Mendoza was available in the first round, John Schneider may grab that and sit him for a year. But I think Sam's a really West Coast kid, good kid, coachable, tough. It's a great – Seahawks fans are lucky. They've got it going now.
So what are you learning? You talked about Darnold there. He's one of a couple of these kind of reclamation project quarterbacks around the league with Baker and Daniel Jones and some others. What are you learning about the NFL from the reclamation quarterbacks?
A lot of good offensive coaches that it didn't used to be. There used to be about 4 of them in the league, and they were all head coaches. Now you hire a CEO. And there's dozens of, Sean McVay-ish kind of guys. There's one in, the guy in Carolina now, the guy in Jacksonville. There's a lot of sharp guys. And so that gives guys like Baker and it gives guys like Sam, there's just more great coaches out there. And I think that's a big part of it. Secondly, the quarterbacks have 10,000 snaps by the time they're sophomores in college. The personal coaching, the 7-on-7 stuff. So you're getting, just this year, it's like Mendoza, and Dante Moore, and Cade Klubnik. And I like the kid at South Carolina. I think he's an interesting prospect. I wouldn't play him immediately, but just feels like there's more good quarterbacks and more good coaches. And, Sam came into the league at 21, meaning, and Brock would know this, the younger you are and the more raw you are, you really need the right leadership. Well, the Jets are the opposite of that. If he'd have landed, let's say, like in Seattle, like he was coming out now and you gave him Seattle and he could sit behind Stafford for 2 years, Sam Darnold would be a Pro Bowler very early in his career. He went to the dysfunctional Jets. And it's just like life. As our kids are younger, 15, 16, 17, 18, it's why having a good, strong mom and dad matters. The younger you are, the more guidance you need, the more support you need. I'm old now. I can get a bad boss and burrow through it. Right? It's just like, Brady went to Tampa. He didn't get along with Arians. He still won a Super Bowl. But in Tom's early years, the Charlie Weisses and, then Josh McDaniel, it really matters. It's why parents are so important, especially for young boys who have all that testosterone. They make bad decisions. Sam's 21. He goes to a dysfunctional place. He's trying to figure out he had a bad college coach. He's trying to figure out the sport. It just didn't work. But the smart guys, Kevin O'Connell, Shanahan, they always liked him.
So where will the Seahawks be on Colin Cowherd's power rankings this week?
1 or 2. I'm going to go in about 5 minutes, and I have all my homework in front of me. There'll be 1 or 2 with the Rams. So I that's what they feel like to me. It's fun. I think they're not only good, I think they're a fun watch. It's JSN and Sam Darnold, and they're fast, and they go get Rashid Shaheed, and they just got a lot of speed, and they're aggressive defensively, and it's so great in the NFL when you can have your quarterback and your head coach, and they're both pretty young. They're both in their prime. It's such a great place to be in the NFL, and there's about 7 of those in the whole league. Andy Reid's great, but he's probably got 2 more years to coach. He's getting older. You know what I mean? It's the only chance to win a Super Bowl is when you have a coach in his prime and a quarterback in his prime, and hopefully you have a really good deal-making GM. Like Howie Roseman goes out and gets Phillips. You watched him last night against the Packers. It's like, oh, yeah, that's going to work. He's absolutely going to make them better again. Immediately you got to have a deal maker, and I think Schneider is that. I think I thought that deal to get Shaheed, the receiver, was so smart. Reunited with his OC. I thought that was such a smart move, and Seattle's got it dialed in. I would be shocked. And again, they're in a great spot because Darnold, you guys know he's less of a cap hit than Taysom Hill. They got a 3rd-round pick for Geno. He's less of a cap hit than Taysom Hill. And you can stay with Darnold, or you can do what John wanted to do years ago with Russell Wilson. He wanted to draft Josh Allen and just sit him for a year. And I think I could see Seattle, but I think Mendoza's going to go number 1. But I could see him taking a quarterback in the first couple rounds here and just saying, listen, you're going to sit behind Sam Darnold for 2 years. Because that, Brock, as you know, and Mike, that's ideally what you want to do. Even Mahomes sat for a year. Lamar, Josh Allen was a mess his first year. You'd like to sit Carson Palmer sat. You'd like to sit all these guys and just have a really good mentor in front of you like an Alex Smith. That would be ideal. But most teams up the top, they need to win now. And they need to, you've got this insatiable fan base and talk radio and win now and play the kid. And it's rough. You don't want to play Jackson Dart this early, but the Giants, it's New York. They just fired a coach in the middle of a season. The Jets did it last year. The Giants do it this year. Just dysfunctional.
How are you 61 years old? It just doesn't even make sense. I just have to look it up because you said you were old. How are you 61? You still sound like the same guy I was listening to driving to work in L.A. in the early 2000s, 20-something years ago. You sound exactly the same. How are you 61?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
We stumped Colin. We found something Colin doesn't know. It's amazing. We win. We win.
Yeah, a lot of kids. A lot of smart. My staffs are young and fun and keep me young, and my wife holds me accountable. So I just texted my best friend in high school, lives up in Chehalis. I still think about the Northwest all the time. My buddy Jack Jones. He was my star runner. He was the best player on our team. I was a terrible high school quarterback, but I don't know. I think I'm a very simple creature, surround myself with a bunch of young people, and I love what I do. I'm so lucky. I think we all feel that. I'm just so lucky to do what we do. There's so many jobs out there that are so hard, or they're political, or you're lifting stuff, and I just talk. Come on, give me a break. I talk. That's all I do.
It's pretty great. Colin, thank you. Thank you for talking with us for a few minutes. We appreciate it. Always good to hear your voice, and we'll do it again.
Hello, Pacific Northwest. Love you guys anytime, and have a great day.
All right, there you go. There's the great Colin Cowherd. He is, he's the best, as we've said every time, Brock. Every single kid that ever came to interview here, when you ask them who they want to be like, Colin Cowherd, always the answer.
Except